Giving us the story, the latest in Mobile, Alabama on this is Blake Brown. He is the local CBS reporter who first focused on this. We've actually linked up his piece on lauraingraham.com, including the video package that initially ran on WKRG News 5. And Blake joins us now. Blake, I don't think this has gotten the national attention that certainly the George Zimmerman, Trayvon Martin case received. I mean, the man is in, I believe, still in ICU. Is that correct?
Yeah, Laura, you're right. He actually is in serious condition this morning at ICU at the hospital, and it's been a crazy story that's been unfolding since Saturday night, since it actually happened around 8:30. This entire neighborhood's still in shock that something like this would happen right here in Mobile on this quiet street, that they've never had issues like this before whatsoever.
Tell us specifically what went down.
Basically, around 8:30 on Saturday night, these two kids were walking down a road. It's a dead-end road with maybe about 20 or 30 houses on it. These couple of kids bouncing a basketball, walking down to the end of this road. Mr. Owens is on his front porch. These kids, the ball somehow goes into Mr. Owens' yard. Some sort of brief conversation happens between the two parties. The two kids leave the ball in the yard, come back with about 20 people. They're all carrying metal poles, paint cans, chairs, anything that they've basically found, and start bashing Mr. Owens upside the head on his front porch, on his property, on Delmar Drive. And the entire ordeal, according to witnesses, lasts about 10 minutes or so. There's a man on the other side of the door, a friend of Mr. Owens, that Mr. Owens is pleading for help, trying to get someone to let him into his home. It just a bizarre story. Did he live there in that home? He did live in that home, and his sister actually lives across the street. She says she witnessed the entire thing. They've lived there, from what I understand, for about 20 years or so. So they're no stranger to this neighborhood. Did they have some previous altercation with black youth? I mean, was there any backstory to this? The only backstory that I've been able to come up with so far, Laura, is that they've, in the past, I guess there's been a group of black citizens in this neighborhood that have been playing basketball on the street, and that's upset a lot of people in the neighborhood, not just from the white community, but also from the black community. And so I'm sure there's been some sort of altercation in the past with
the noise. Yeah, just disturbances. I mean, neighbors saying, "Okay, you're bouncing the ball; it's too loud." I mean, what is that? Exactly. That's what it seems like to me, talking to neighbors. Well, now, none of these individuals have been apprehended. I mean, if this beating took place over 10 minutes, when was 911 called? You know, that's the thing that I cannot figure out, Laura. In the police headquarters in Mobile, the only way that I can describe this, if you go a mile and take a left onto another road, that's the police headquarters for Mobile, so it's not far if police were dispatched. And I talked to the police this morning again. They're getting no cooperation from any of the neighbors. I don't know if the neighbors are wanting to stay quiet. That's what it sounds like. Are they afraid? I mean, they're afraid, are they not? Yeah, exactly. So they're afraid of being the next victim of one of these mob beatings. That's what it sounds like to me. I'm trying to, read between the lines of what you're saying. You're exactly right, Laura. And even the sister that lives across the street, when she's coming home from the hospital at night now, she says she locks her door, locks her car door, runs directly into the house. Her daughters live with her. They're pulling her inside the house, saying, "Get inside, get inside, get inside." They're worried. I mean, they live on this street, and they've always thought it was safe until now when this happens on Saturday night. What are the extent of his injuries? I imagine if he's hit in the head that many times, he has internal injuries. Does he have brain bleeding? What have you found out about his medical condition? I mean, the photo is devastating. The photo definitely tells a lot. His sister's telling me that he does have a little bit of brain injuries. She's not going into descriptive detail right now. She said that he's been kind of in an unconscious state, I guess, at the hospital. He's able to be alert every now and then. The doctors are trying not to give him too much pain medicine, from what I understand, because of his injuries. So he's he's just in that state right now at ICU to where he's just in serious condition. In and out of consciousness, it sounds like. Exactly. Hey, Blake, have any of the civil rights leaders, or I should say so-called civil rights leaders like Al Sharpton or Jesse Jackson, have they been on the scene or in touch with you for more details? No, not at all. Not at all. So no rallies planned there to stop the violence? Not yet, but you know what? I would not be surprised, Laura, if that did happen. I'd be surprised. I don't think Al Sharpton's going to show up anytime soon. There's no money to be made in that situation in Mobile. I appreciate it. Blake Brown doing great reporting on the ground. Coming up, Rick Santelli.